Herschel Walker has lost, and that is first and foremost Herschel Walker's fault. But aside from Herschel Walker, or considering the state of Herschel Walker, maybe this person even deserves more blame, is Donald Trump. I mean, Herschel Walker's son, Christian, went on a tweet storm saying that Trump had been calling Herschel Walker every day for months, encouraging him to run. And every sane person around Herschel Walker was like, you cannot do this. And yet Trump got what he wanted, which is a Herschel Walker run. Unfortunately, what he also got is what he got in almost every single one of the Republican Senate races where he got to choose the candidate, a loss. JD Vance won, that's even a bit more muddled. A lot of the establishment Republicans are pretty okay with him. But when it comes to these other MAGA picks, it hasn't gone well. And so I'm wondering, is there gonna be self-reflection? Is there gonna be critique from outside? Well, let's turn to the self-reflection. I have been wondering when Donald Trump would say something about this, but he's actually been pretty quiet. The only message we had the night of the election was, our country is in big trouble, what a mess. That was after the call. I don't even know if that's about Herschel Walker. He has apparently washed his hands of the guy that he was telling people to go vote, just vote for a couple of days ago. He doesn't have much to say about this. Now, I did tell you like maybe a week and a half ago that when it was announced that the Walker campaign and the Trump campaign had agreed that Trump wouldn't go, that's obviously interesting from the point of view of the Walker campaign, that they don't think Trump being there would be helpful. But it was far more interesting, this is what I said, that Trump agreed to it. Because normally Trump would tell them to kick rocks. I don't care what you want or what you think is gonna help. I want the credit, I want the crowd, I'm gonna go. But he didn't go, which implied that he didn't think that Herschel Walker was gonna win, and he didn't want the discredit when that happens. Well, okay, he maybe protected himself a little bit by not doing a big rally a couple of days ago, but he did put this candidate forward. So after already receiving a lot of the blame for the lack of a red wave, and then in the interim announcing he's gonna run for president, the special counsel comes out. He has a Thanksgiving dinner with anti-Semites. Now he cost them another Senate seat. Jayar, how do you think this reflects on Donald Trump going forward?
Probably similarly after midterms. This is just the last shot of it. And again, the only reason I say it is I was wondering if there was gonna be a shift. Now that it was fully over, maybe they were holding their fire, other fellow Republicans outside of Trump, holding their fire on him, wondering if maybe Herschel can pull it off, and then at least we'll kind of temper our anger. Laura Ingraham still can't say his name when she was complaining about some of these people at the top still were complaining about the processes of elections. Or then also Mitch McConnell coming out for these last few press conferences and starting by saying anyone who wants to terminate the Constitution has no place and they can't win in a presidential election. Without saying his name, they're still afraid of this guy. They'll say, hey, this guy sucks. Whoever did this sucks. This one person sucks. The head of the party sucks. This person sucks. This person did that wrong. Who chose these candidates? I can't believe these rallies didn't work out. Won't say the dude's name. So there's still a little bit of fear there, holding on to the wonder of whether or not he's still gonna take over power, and they don't wanna be on the wrong side of it. So no credit still yet for them figuring this out, because they haven't.
Yeah, look, I think if somehow Herschel Walker had won, I think that Trump could have used that to ward off a bit of the criticism he'd been getting, but that shield is now gone. I believe he will be criticized, although I agree with you. I think they're still being super cautious about it. And actually, let's test that. Let's see how comfortable in the aftermath of this they are willing to criticize Donald Trump. Not here in the clip we're gonna show you specifically about the choosing of the candidate, but the other way that he affected voting patterns. Take a look at this.
Of candidates this time, he was out there working hard, but we need to not just compete for votes, for ballots. We need to compete for ballots. If we don't bank ballots early, we're going to keep losing.
But we didn't.
But we didn't.
But we didn't do it in 2020 because everyone said don't vote early because that's corrupt.
Not everyone.
Well, a lot of people did at the very top of the Republican Party.
Yes,
you didn't.
People did.
But Molly, Mitch McConnell did give 11 million.
Yeah, at the top of the party, it was a person at the party. I don't remember the party or the person. I can't remember a name, but there was someone who was saying not to vote early. So again, like they're criticizing him, okay, but they don't want to use the name. Oh, they want to be strong, Jayar, but they're just not there yet.
From her to even Newt Gingrich, saying we have to rethink how we do this. Early voting, mail-in voting. Newt effing Gingrich is trying to now change the way the approach that they have with this. Maybe this whole thing about denying normal election systems and denying democracy isn't working for us. What do we do? Or maybe we should tell people to vote. Next step, Newt, and next step, Laura, give your voters a reason to vote for your ass. Not just because how much they hate someone else who they don't know, who they've been told whatever it is about them is the truth. They think I don't know, I don't think this is so much of the degree, but maybe they're starting to think, hey, our constituents actually, they're beginning to think. They're still not, but they're concerned that might be the problem. Maybe we should give them an opportunity to vote for folks instead of saying, don't do it. It's weird how these are adults in politics and don't get how it works.
By the way, like to this strength thing. Remember when Chris Christie a couple weeks ago, he was telling a group, it was the Republican Jewish Coalition leadership meeting. He says, it's time to stop whispering. It's time to stop being afraid of any one person. It is time to stand up for principles and the beliefs that we've founded this party on and this country on. It's time to stop being afraid of this one person. I'm not saying who. I am not gonna say that person's name, but you should not be afraid of whoever it is that I mean. Okay, that's not strength. You don't get a cookie, as Anna Kasparian would say.
There's aliens watching us right now going, they're observing the way that these humans interact and how they have this power structure and how some, no matter what, will continue to bow down to this weird orange creature that continues to rule them. It's weird.
No, I don't.
It's a case study.
Yeah, it's like really, he's the leader? He's the one you're scared of? Okay, keep being scared. They'll find something of a backbone if DeSantis runs, some of them. But for now, man, they're terrified. Okay, goodbye, Herschel Walker. Hopefully that's it. Hopefully there's no more, but who knows? It's America. We'll find out together.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.